running right at me.
Annihilated by nuclear bombs.
Beast is not dead. I put 4 bullets into him.
Oh, you're crazy.
But I saw that monster too. All I want is for someone to believe me.
Contaminated.
Face. Horrible. Looked like it would scare you to death.
All right, let's get to work.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Music should have been going already. I dropped the ball. Worlds, how you doing?
Hello.
How you doing? How you doing? Oh, I love getting the notification that we're live.
Yay.
I love seeing it on the watch.
Yay.
You get the full thumbnail and everything?
I don't get notifications for anything.
No.
Ever.
I just realized that I, for some reason, had all of my notifications turned off on Twitch.
Oh no.
And so I was like waiting for, like Hef to go live yesterday. And I was like, he's never going to go live. And I look over in Twitch, he's already going. I was like, Cheese.
Crackers.
Worlds, how you doing? How you doing? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Let me get this straight. I should have had this up already, and I didn't.
Nope.
Alright, that's what I'm looking
Great
for.
to see you guys. I'm good. How you guys?
We're good.
Doing good.
I'm glad you're doing awesome.
I got a special treat tonight, just for our friend James on YouTube land. Because James was the first one to call me out on my mispronunciation of foreign names.
Oh yeah.
So did a little extra work tonight, and we're dealing with a lot of foreign names tonight. But I actually set the groundwork to get full pronunciations in with all the script. So
We hope we get it right. You'll probably get it right. I don't know if I'll get it right, but you'll get it right.
The name.
Hello guys. Great topic tonight.
Yes, it is. It really is. You have
Hi,
no idea
James.
what we're talking about.
No.
Get ready.
Ready. Ready, I'm ready, I'm ready.
Let's hit this intro and give everybody a taste of what's coming.
Okay.
Let's do it.
Hey James.
All right, let's hit this opener. Just outside Cluj-Napoca, Romania, lies Hoia-Baciu Forest, a place where twisted trees surround a mysterious clearing. Strange lights have been photographed overhead, and visitors claim to hear voices, see shadowy figures, suffer unexplained scratches, and even experience missing time. For decades, people have called it one of the most haunted forests on Earth. Behind the stories of ghosts, UFOs, disappearances, and even possible portals lies a much bigger question. Is there actually something paranormal hiding among the trees? Or has one very creepy forest created the perfect environment for an even creepier legend? Tonight on Beyond the Shadows podcast, we are discussing Hoia-Baciu Forest, the most haunted forest on Earth. There you go. Now you kind of know what we're dealing with tonight. We're gonna have some fun with this one. Yes, it's gonna be so good. I didn't realize at first why Worlds was always dropping the ghost emote in chat, but I'm pretty sure that they do that every time the ghost shows up on the screen.
I'm proud of you.
Thank you so much.
Yay!
Oh, geez, I worked hard on these pronunciations. I read and reread and reread and reread, and a lot of copying and pasting of pronunciations in this one. It's going to be a lot, but Romanian names are nothing to fuck with. They're tough. They're very tough. So I do have like some groundwork with German. So some of it like trips me up because it does have like some Germanic roots, but Romanian is its whole, whole other language. It's wild. It is some weird pronunciations. We're gonna have some fun with this tonight. I will do my very best.
Yay.
I hope I managed to get all the pronunciations in there tonight to help you out as well.
Yeah.
Because I know, hopefully, after hearing me say it a few times, Hoia-Baciu. That's the big one.
Yeah.
We'll see. We'll see what happens. I think I got them all. I very likely missed a few, but hopefully everything's going good. How's everybody doing tonight? Welcome to Beyond the Shadows podcast. This week we are discussing the Hoia-Baciu Forest, the most haunted forest on Earth? Question mark. Welcome everyone. I am Victus.
I'm Hazel.
Good morning, good evening, good night, wherever you are in the world. Welcome. This is Beyond the Shadows podcast. We're your personal, professional paranormal investigators, and this is the greatest paranormal podcast in the world, as long as you don't fact check it, where every week we put that claim to the test. We record this show live, one take and no edits, and try to figure out if this week's case is truly paranormal or just bullshit. Hazel, how you doing this week?
Pretty good. Had a very nice date morning, went for a
Yeah.
bike ride,
Yeah?
grocery shop, and then we came home and watched a really cool movie.
Yes, we watched Backrooms.
And
Go and watch it, folks. Go watch it. It did the lore so much justice. Especially if you played any of the games. There's 4 or 5 notable Backrooms games, and they're all a little mind-bending like that,
yeah,
like the movie. And I was very happy to see that some of the elements were from the games were in the movie.
Yeah.
Uh,
very good. Very interesting,
Yeah, they
like
did.
psychological piece too. Like I kept thinking about different things that
Yeah.
happened in it afterwards. So I was like, oh, that's why that happened. That makes sense.
Whoever
all
wrote the
together.
script or did the storyline did a really good job. Like a lot of good, background research. Did some digging on where the lore comes from, and clearly did some, pulled some photos from some old like 4chan, whatever. But yeah, it was great. I'd like to think that you enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was very good. Very good. I enjoyed it a lot.
It wasn't as bloody gory as I was expecting, which is fine. It doesn't
Yeah.
always have to be blood and guts.
Well, I think it made a better impact because it wasn't like it just was more,
Yeah.
you just kind of had. Did that actually happen? Did it not happen? Like,
Well,
you
he
know,
kept saying, "Did you see it? Did
Yeah.
you see that? Did you see
Yeah.
that?"
yeah, yeah. How are you doing?
I'm doing all right. Got my big Saturdays off project done, so now here in a couple weeks when I get my next Saturday off, I can have a Saturday off.
Yeah, do whatever you want.
Oh yeah. That being said, I've got some projects around the house I need to do, so won't be much of a day off, but at least I'll be home.
Yeah. I don't
Uh,
have any Saturdays off coming up as I
You're
start
about to be a
teaching
busy bee.
next week. Not this coming week, but the next week I start teaching at night.
You're very busy bee. Very busy bee.
Yep.
But I hope everybody else is doing okay. I'm glad to see our regulars are in chat. Worlds and James, glad you're here. That's all right. I said something in Discord just this week that, I don't care that we don't get hundreds and hundreds of views on our videos, because at the end of the day, I'm sitting here talking about something that I love and I enjoy. And even if it's just one person listening, like Worlds or James, that's enough. I don't care if we go viral or what have you. One day, somebody's going to be like, oh shit, these folks got like 500 episodes that are 2 hours long. How come we've never heard about them? And then we'll blow up and we'll probably be old and wrinkled by then and it won't matter. But maybe one day. We have left our mark, I think, at this point. 100 plus episodes in, I think we're doing pretty good. Any hoots. Glad everyone's here tonight. I'm trying my best to bring my energy up. I may or may not have eaten too much before we get going. And I want to go lay down in my food coma, because I was already a little sleepy to begin with. And
You want your afternoon
Quality
coffee?
over quantity. James and I are such high caliber viewers that any more would spoil you.
yeah, that's
True.
right. Yeah, it would,
True.
you know, if we had 50, 60 people watching, I don't know, we would have to kill voice chat.
Yeah.
Or we would have to kill text to speech because it would just be crazy.
So, did you have your afternoon coffee?
Yeah, I had one right before you took your nap.
Yep, I'm still asleep.
A very large, nice, deep, dark black coffee.
Still sleepy though. I had a nap.
And we watched this documentary, and I was
We is the loose term.
well, it was on. I saw that it was like UFOs investigations. You know what secrets they don't want you to know. And I was like, cool, just something to kind of get us in the vibe for the podcast tonight, right? Well, we start watching it, and it's just this guy debunking every single UFO case ever, every single one. And I'm like, where's the flip
Speaking
side
of
to this
which,
point?
I have to share my my GRE vocabulary card.
Oh yeah.
So I'm studying to take the GRE, and I have to learn like a whole bunch of words that I haven't used in a long time. And one of the words was apocryphal. So there's no hard or authoritative evidence to support the apocryphal tales that link the Roswell, New Mexico incident to a downed UFO, was my sentence that was given to me
What's a
by
GRE?
GRE. It's this test that you sometimes have to take if you are going into a graduate program. I don't know if it's outside of the US or not. I don't know, but it's like a standardized test that they take to say, hey, are you smarter than a fifth grader? No, I don't know, but yeah, it's a lot, and I am kind of not sure that I really want to do it, but that's okay. We'll see. I want to get into a PhD program, and they require me to take that. So, and this particular one kind of pays for you to do it if you qualify.
What does GRE stand for?
Graduate something exam. Graduate readiness exam, maybe?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
I could be lying. I don't actually really know. But
Graduate reticulated Python exam.
there's no P in it. So.
No, reticulated Python's one word. Graduate. Trying to think of something paranormal. Starts with the letter R. Roswell
Well,
exam. Sure, we'll use Roswell. Any hoots and hollers. She's working very hard on it.
not as hard as I should be this week. I took a week to kind of calm down a little.
That's okay. You can't stretch the brain all the time.
No, that lion's mane's mushroom only does a look like a tiny bit.
Yeah. Well, we're going to get plenty of R&R tonight.
Yeah,
Because we have such a crazy investigation tonight.
I'm excited that it's a haunted forest. You know how I love forests.
Oh, yes. This one kind of broad stroke hits everything. There's UFOs, there's cryptid sightings, there's ghosts, there's disappearances. There's some naturally occurring phenomenon in this area that we just cannot explain. We'll get into that here in a little bit. We do have some photographic evidence, real photos of some very strange things.
Evening.
Hello.
Otter, how goes it?
Haunted forest. Hell yeah.
That's right. We got some haunted forest tonight. Hoia-Baciu.
Hey Otter.
Welcome, Otter. Glad you come back. Glad you've returned indeed. So tonight we're definitely going to need my tinfoil hat because we're getting out there. Tinfoil hat's over there. Yeah. I'm gonna wear this one probably a little bit tonight. The almighty great tinfoil hat will be making an appearance tonight. Because tonight's investigation is absolutely wild. Hazel does not have a tinfoil hat, so we can trade off. If you feel like you need to wear it and shit's getting a little too deep, you need to protect your brain from government radio waves. You just let me
Trying
know.
to take the lion's mane.
We do have a new background piece, a new special background
Yeah,
piece.
I see it.
I got one of the Halloween Hello Kitty Funko
I'm
Pops.
all out of tinfoil. Does parchment paper work?
Sure, that'll work. Yeah, I mean, tinfoil is good at blocking radio waves, but parchment paper blocks sound waves. And
Interesting.
if they
Wonder
hit
if
you with a
that'll be
sonic
on the-
weapon, you'll be protected, but I can't promise to shield your brain from anything that might destroy your brain matter via radio waves. But that being said, I do have a tiny cinnamon roll ghost Funko Pop. And look, it's a little ghost. It's got a little stand and everything. Glows in the dark. You can't see it because it's so bright in here, but it does glow in the dark. I love my Hello Kitty stuff. The whole thing glows. So like Derpy, only the eyes glow. And you can never tell because it's always so bright in here, but anywho, I'm gonna set this to the side for now. Let's get into this week's news and paranormal, everybody. Are you ready for this week's news and
That's
paranormal?
adorable.
Ready.
Yeah, they're special edition. So there's a Hello Kitty. There is cinnamon roll and Karopi. And the Karopi is the most adorable one, but it just didn't quite match the vibe of the whole set piece here. But Karopi, as everyone knows, is Little Frog. And he's dressed as a giant candy corn. And he's quite adorable. But I really like the cinnamon roll because the cinnamon roll is a ghost. And we have to keep it kind of spooky in here.
Yeah.
Spooky, not cute.
Yeah.
The cutest thing we got in here, other than my wife, is this poster over here with this amazing mustache.
Yeah.
That's as cute as it gets. Well, I guess my lucky cat back there. I do have, I take it back. I've got some cutie stuff back there. Anywho, let's get into this week's news of paranormal. I hope y'all are ready. Before we head into the forest of Romania, it's time to see what strange things have been happening everywhere else. This is this week's news in paranormal. So we've got a lot of UFOs happening this week. First off, we have a strange object was filmed over Pensacola, Florida on August 6th of this year, just a few days ago. What's today?
It's the 9th.
Yeah.
I believe, right? Or the 8th.
Wait, no,
9th.
today is the 9th. Yeah, 3 days ago. Witnesses in Pensacola, Florida reportedly watched a bizarre dark object moving through the sky for several minutes. Video from the sighting appears to show a vertically oriented object with several connected sections, and the witnesses described its movement as erratic and unlike any conventional aircraft. The person who submitted the footage even described the thing as looking like a flying gorilla. Right now, there isn't enough information to determine its size, distance, or speed, which means this one remains very much in the unidentified category.
Another strange objects appear over Switzerland. Just 2 days earlier, on August 4th, 4 people in St. Gallen, Switzerland, reportedly witnessed a bright, elongated object moving across the night sky. The witnesses described it as almost cigarette-shaped, moving slowly and quickly without any obvious wings, rotors, or sound. They managed to record roughly a minute of footage before the object apparently disappeared or simply stopped reflecting enough light to remain visible. There's currently no confirmed explanation for what they saw.
And a new documentary claims it finally debunked the Patterson-Gimlin film. So this is interesting considering we just covered Bigfoot a few episodes back. The famous 1967 Patterson-Gimlin Bigfoot film is back in the news after a new documentary called Capturing Bigfoot claimed to have finally exposed the legendary footage as a hoax. Skeptical investigator Benjamin Radford argues that the documentary provides evidence identifying the circumstances behind the film and the famous creature known as Patty. That's an enormous claim considering the Patterson-Gimlin footage has survived nearly 60 years of arguments, analysis, recreations, and attempted debunkings. Whether Bigfoot believers consider the mystery officially solved is probably an entirely different question. So yeah, I guess we really gotta... It's my fault for not really pulling any decent information out of that one.
Yeah, no, I think we maybe.
So I guess this new documentary is claiming to completely debunked. I guess that's how they get you to watch the documentary, right?
Yeah. I guess that's what you'll be watching next weekend.
Maybe so.
Archaeologists excavating the ruins of a medieval chapel in the Faroe Islands have uncovered a rune stone carrying an inscription written in Old Norse runes. The stone was discovered at the historic Sandur on the island of Sandoy, and it appears to date from the medieval period. Researchers are now working to understand exactly what the description means and why the stone was placed there. It isn't paranormal, but anytime someone digs up a mysterious Viking era message carved into the rock, it earns a spot in this show.
That's
Because,
true.
you know, I mean, just put it back. We don't need any more of this nonsense in the
Yeah.
world. Just put it back where you found it.
We've lived through so many things at this point.
Just leave stuff alone.
Every single Indiana Jones movie will tell us why messing with shit in the ground that's buried is a bad idea. Oh, jeez. And finally, here we go again. A massive 2,500-year-old statue has been found in Turkey. And finally, archaeologists working at the ancient city of Sardis in western Turkey have uncovered pieces of a colossal marble statue believed to be around 2,500 years old. The enormous sculpture was found in the ancient capital of Lidan Kingdom, and represents an extremely rare discovery from that period. Researchers are still studying exactly whom or what the statue represented and what role it played in the ancient city. So apparently, even after 2,500 years underground, the ancient world is still keeping a few secrets from us. And those are just a few of the stories making headlines this week, but for tonight's investigation, we're leaving Florida, Switzerland, and ancient runestones, Bigfoot, and giant statues behind because we're heading to Romania, to a forest where the trees twist into unnatural shapes. People claim to disappear, strange objects have been photographed overhead. It's time to enter Hoia-Baciu. Let's go. So I didn't plan for this part yet. I couldn't find anybody worth calling for this investigation specifically. You know what? Worlds, give us a name. Give us a name, Worlds, and that's who I called this week. I don't care. Anybody's name. Because I have no idea.
Brian Fellowton.
I don't know who Brian Fellowton is.
He plays bridge.
Okay. So this week I called Brian Fellowton. Yeah.
And has a pet pigeon.
Okay. We're getting somewhere. Let's work with that. Testing my ability to draw on nothing tonight, apparently. It's fine. It's totally fine.
Nothing.
No, what's the word I'm looking for?
Brian sounds very interesting.
What's that called where people can just make up something on the spot?
Yeah, his improv skills.
Improv, that's the word, yeah.
We're-
Loads.
Testing my improv skills. Yeah,
It's
okay.
tons.
Yeah, I can work with that.
He's probably playing a game of bridge with his pigeon right now.
So, yeah, I'm working on a new sound. I want to do a sound for this part. I wanted, like, phone ring sound, but I just haven't got around to it. There's so much going, but every time I get
Whatever
things
comes to
going on
mind
the
is great.
podcast.
You can't get it wrong.
Okay, we'll see what happens. But yeah, every time I get going, there's so much extra little shit that
Yeah.
I never get around to doing the extra stuff. So, is that music still going?
Yep.
I can't hear anything. All right, we'll fade that out. Oh gosh, my phone cord's getting tangled. Yeah, you don't have to worry about your phone cords getting tangled too much anymore. I thought I was leaving that behind, but so this week I called Brian Fellowton, and when I rang him up, he was currently playing bridge with his pet pigeon, and I said, "Brian, what's going on?" And he's like, "Who is this?" I was like, "It's Victus from Beyond the Shadows podcast," and he's like, The fucking who? The fucking what? I'm like, look, man, I was told that you were the one to talk to. And he's like, hold on, let me put my pet pigeon up with my cards so they can go and play bridge privately. And I'm like, all right, I'll work with that. So he went off. You hear him rustling around in the background and, messing with stuff. And you hear pots and pans falling over and feathers, wings flapping in the background. I'm like, Jesus. And he's screaming, glass breaking. I'm like, geez, here we go. Finally, he comes back. He's all winded. He's like, all right, now who the fuck is this? And I'm like, it's Victus from Beyond the Shadows podcast. I was told you were a reliable source about the Hoia-Baciu Forest. And you know what he said to me? He said something I wasn't expecting. He said, what the fuck is the Hoia-Baciu Forest? I'm like, no, dude, it's that place in Romania with the spooky stuff that happens all the time. He's like, oh, the one with the weird shit. I said, yeah, that's the one. He's like, yeah, okay. Oh, I don't know a couple of things about that. I was like, yeah, man, we're going to do an investigation on it, and I was told you were a reliable source. He's like, all right, man, that place is pretty serious, but there's something more serious I need to ask you. And I was like, what is it? He's like, look, this investigation has a way of pulling people down, sucking the life out of them. I need to know you're protected. And I'm like, what is it? He's like, this is serious. I said, what's serious? I said, what? He's like, man, look, they're listening. I can't say too much right now. Oh, I can't say too much right now, but there's one thing I need to know before you get going. I said, what is it? He said, what shirt are you wearing today? I hope that was good enough.
Great. Good job.
Thank you. Jeez, now my
You're all
my
tangled.
phone cords are tangled again.
Whoa.
Jeez.
Need help?
No, that's fine. I'm so used to cell phone. Back over there. Get back over there. Yeah. Thanks, Brian.
Excellent. Bravo.
Thanks, Brian, for your input tonight. So, Worlds, if you actually know a Brian Fellerton, let him know that he was a big part of tonight's investigation. Tell him I said thanks for the phone call. I'll talk to him later. Thanks, Brian. All right. Well, we both have custom shirts on tonight. Okay, so he's not real. Cool. I was like, geez, she's gonna have a weird conversation with one of her buddies. Okay. I was like, geez, she's gonna have to have a really weird conversation with one of her buddies tomorrow, because I don't know how you bring that up in normal conversation. So, first and foremost, I'll go first because I need to set up your shirt.
Okay.
There's something that needs to be done.
Okay.
Submitted to you for the approval of the Midnight Society. I give you the shirt for episode 204, the Fresno Nightcrawler.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Fancy, fancy. Fancy, fancy. Look at those big old yeggs.
I had a hard time doing this one. Couldn't get the shape quite right.
Big old yeggs.
So you weren't here for the Fresno Nightcrawler episode. Really weird episode. A really weird episode. That was season 2, early season 2. That was back when Aeon was still here. Really strange episode. I did think we came down on not paranormal, surprisingly enough, but still, it's like very popular. I wore one of my cryptid stamp shirt to go work Saturday, and I'm sitting there sweating, sitting in the shade, and I look down and I was like, you know what? Fresno Nightcrawler, that's the one I need to do this week for the shirts. But Hazel has a very special shirt on tonight.
Oh, I do.
Prepare yourselves. It's a basal bass drop. Here we go. I gotta do it.
Basil-based Bob.
Yeah, he's got the crazy eyeball in that picture. We tried for like 15 minutes to find a good enough picture.
Yeah.
And he's got this gift for like doing a crazy eyeball. And we were like, we gotta, because that's part of the Basil Base Drop redemption is you see his crazy eyeball.
Yeah.
And
I had a student one time who called that a hairy eyeball.
oh yeah.
Give me the old hairy eyeball, Miss Haley. Never heard that before until she said it. She was like,
It's an older
she was
one.
like 9 at the time, which was really funny.
Yeah.
But
something they even said in oh geez, that was like the 20s or 30s, wasn't it?
probably.
But we the original plan was to pull a screenshot from the Basil Base Drop redemption, and we couldn't get a clear enough image from the Basil Base Drop video because he's all over the place. I'll give it to you one more time so you can get the full effect.
Basil-based Bob.
Yeah. His fucking eyeball.
Hello.
His fucking eyeball. Jeez Louise. Anyway, we got cool shirts. Don't be jealous, everybody. So those of you interested, I did start a channel on the Discord. Open invitations for the Discord right now. Anybody's welcome to join. Just be friendly and be kind and courteous. It's mostly me and Worlds. Just, what's the word? Like shit posting. Yep. Lots of shit posting. Lots of memes, random videos, back and forth. But I did make a channel just for the Beyond the Shadows shirts. So all of the designs that I use to cut out in vinyl and then do the iron-on transfer, I take the raw image and I upload it to Discord. So I will say this, if anybody wants to use those images, you're welcome to it. Totally fine. It won't hurt my feelings. Just leave the Beyond the Shadows part on there, please. Please. This is our way around, we had actually breached the subject a few weeks ago. We wanted to do a system, a thing where consistent viewers would get real rewards. And one of the rewards we wanted to do was to make shirts for people and send them out for the people that are here all the time. So like Worlds and James, and Half is here all the time, and Blip if he ever comes back. But we couldn't find an effective way to get all of the analytic information from multiple platforms into one. So it just seemed, you know, this was my middle ground was, well, since I can't find a way to effectively gauge who's here all the time and who's not, this way, if you want to make a shirt, you're welcome to pull the patterns off of the Discord. They're already made for.
It would cost you a fair bit too.
Oh, I know it. Shipping is ridiculous. Hef and I have talked at length about it because I know he ships stuff out for his viewers. He has a redemption for a sticker. Just a sticker, and he says it's ridiculous to ship a sticker overseas. I can only imagine how much it costs to ship a shirt, but
Yeah.
but I use a Cricut machine, and it just cuts the pattern out in vinyl, and I pick it out and then iron it on myself. So anybody that's in the Discord is welcome to use any of the patterns. Feel free to. And if you do, take a picture. We'd love to see. Like to see that our stuff is making it somewhere else other than this household.
Yeah.
I wear the shirts everywhere. That's all I wear anymore. I haven't worn a regular t-shirt in months. All right. We did it. We made it through all the intro stuff. Before we get going, Hazel, what is your base? Oh yeah. I'm all about this podcast. We'll go somewhere, and we have the same car, and you know we used to swap off, and like you'll drive one week, I'll drive the next week. Now it's always let me drive because I have Beyond the Shadows podcast signage and QR codes in the back of my car, the links to the show. I was like, no, I got to take my car because there's going to be people where we're going, and I need them to see the QR code and the name of the podcast. And
I have a Darwin from Gumball sticker on my car.
we love Amazing World of Gumball in this household. We do. And
So it's not very strategic.
no, I'm totally fine with the being a rolling billboard.
Yeah.
Again, no shame. And then there's all sorts of like UFOs and cryptids all over my car. It's good fun. I love it. So anytime we go anywhere that's populated, I'm like, nope, I'm driving because got to get that QR code out there. I see people all the time in my rearview mirror taking pictures, but I've never seen like anybody pop up and say, hey, I saw you driving.
Yeah.
Even though we live in a tourist attraction area, like a tourist hotspot,
Yeah.
I've never gotten a message as long as that sticker's been in the back of my car, but that's all right. Any hoots.
Okay.
So I think I already know the answer to this, but what's your baseline for Hoia-Baciu?
People photo stuff and then never think of it again.
Oh yeah, very true.
I have never heard of Hoia-Baciu before tonight. Very excited. This is something that I don't know that you necessarily know about me, but even though we've been married for this long, but I love camping, love being in the woods. I used to go to like festivals and stuff and camp all the time, but then I also just like camping in general, like for short bouts of time.
Yeah.
Right? Like I enjoy a good shower that's not at a campground. So, but yeah, I like this is gonna be really good, and I'm excited about it. I always like to think that there's.
I'm terrified of camping. I watch too much true crime to camp anyway.
Oh God, yes.
So, I mean, there have been times, Otter, that I have gone like hiking by myself. I used to do it more than I do now. I'm almost 40 now, but in my 20s, I was a little more intrepid.
Yeah, I guess I was too. Yeah, intrepid. That's one of your GRE words.
Yes, it is.
See, it's paying off.
And I would venture out, and I think the last time I did that by myself, like
You're far
completely.
braver than me, bleeding face.
Well, okay, but the last time I did it, it was when there was this little like craze that there were people dressed up as clowns in the woods carrying knives
yeah.
around, and this was like in 2016 or 2017 on the East Coast.
Yeah.
And I started walking in the woods one day by myself, and I think I'd gotten like 5 minutes into my walk, and it suddenly dawned on me,
Not the clowns of 2016.
yes,
Yes.
No, thank you.
exactly. And it suddenly dawned on me as I'm walking in these woods, I am out here by myself with nothing to defend
Yeah.
myself. Like, and of course you hear all kinds of noises in the woods that you can't see. So I just turned around, walked right back to my car and said, absolutely not. Like,
Yeah.
I've watched enough horror films to know
Yeah.
not to do this. So that was the last time I think I've gone hiking by myself. But
Only fine. I'm with Otter.
Smart.
I regularly listen to 5 or 6 true crime podcasts, and it may or may not be one of the reasons why I don't like going anywhere now.
Yeah.
And may or may not be the reason our house is covered with security cameras, and may or may not be the reason we have weapons hidden everywhere. And it may or may not be a reason every time I go somewhere I tell you, I'm here, I'm safe,
Yeah.
I've arrived, I'm leaving now, almost home.
Well, I
Actually daily watching 3 hours true crime videos on YT.
Oh, geez.
also have Life 360 on my phone, and I
Yes.
have like you, I have my mom, my grandma, my little sister, but one of my cousins, like all these people, and my uncle and aunt, like who can see where I am at any given time, and I'm really fine with that because, you know, I mean, people know where you are, so
Yeah.
if somebody grabs you, at least we know where the last location.
Yeah. It's funny you say that because you were dog sitting last
Covering
week.
Bases. I love it.
Yeah. So you were dog sitting last week, and the
I always
house.
tell my sister where I'm at.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You got to let somebody know where you are. The house that you were dog sitting at has horrible cell reception, and you had messaged me, told me that you were there and you were about to go in, and it wasn't a hot 10 seconds later your mom messaged me. I lost I lost her on Live 360. Have you heard from her?
You didn't tell me that.
Yes,
That's
I was
funny.
like, yep. I was just talking to her. I'm guessing she's on the Wi-Fi because I'm
I've
talking
seen
to
how
her.
that movie ends. No thank you.
Yeah, yeah. It couldn't have been 30 seconds after you told me you were there that she was like, I lost her on Live 360. Do you know if she's okay?
Yeah, I texted the homeowners and I said, you know, I didn't get your Wi-Fi password when I was here before. Could you send that to me? Because I have zero cell phone reception. And they were like, yeah, here, you know.
Yep. I told her, I was like, yep. I was just talking to her. She's fine. She's safe. Dogs are under control. She's like, okay, thank you. Have a good night.
Well, you know what? Also, I had been on the phone with her and cell phone reception had dropped, so I'd lost the call too. So it was like not
Oh
only
yeah, every horror movie starts that way.
yeah,
Good call.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I listen to too much Crime Junkie that I'm not telling anybody where I am.
but I bet you there's no cell reception in the Hoia-Baciu Forest either.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I say that it does seem like there's some heavily traveled tracks through there. It seems like a lot of people are still going through there today. Otter, Worlds, James, do you guys have any? I'm assuming James knows because James popped up and said, "Great subject tonight." I'm assuming James knows, but Otter, Worlds, do you guys know anything about Hoia-Baciu? We will see some photos later. As soon as you see him, you're going to be like, "Oh, I've seen this photo before," but I didn't know that it was attached to this story.
Okay.
So I had actually.
BRB in ad hell.
Oh, geez. Okay. Well, yeah. Appreciate you letting us know. I'm usually really good about catching the ads, but yeah, always let us know when there's ads popping up. Not everybody can afford a sub. It's fine. We're not asking for subs. We're asking for you guys to just let us know when ads are coming. So let me type in chat right quick. Can't type.
WWE will wait. Just let us know when you're back.
Wait.
I don't know what it is. I think my keyboard's starting to mess up. I'm getting a lot of double W's lately. Like
Double.
when I was spell checking the script last night, there was probably like 15 or 16 double W's in there. I don't know if it's my keyboard or maybe I just get excited when I'm typing. I'm not sure. Yeah, just a PSA for those of you watching live. If you're watching live, just let us know when you get caught with ads, and we will gladly wait. There's no problem waiting. We don't make money off of this, so there's nothing wrong with being polite and waiting for everybody else. Nothing wrong at all. But I'm really hoping that tonight's gonna. I'm really hoping tonight's gonna.
Turbo now.
Oh, geez, you ain't got to do all that. But yeah, you don't have to. You don't have to sub and do all that. So yeah, Twitch Turbo. I forgot about that. That's where you don't have to sub, but you miss the ads and stuff. Yeah. I use. Welcome back. Glad to have you back.
Thank you for waiting.
Hey, no problem. That's what we do here.
You have to have a dance party.
Otter, I was saying while you were gone, always just let us know when you get caught with ads. We have no problem just waiting. We know that not everybody can afford a sub, and we're not asking for subs, but we are very amenable. And if you get caught with an ad, just let us know. We have no problem waiting at all. So, PSA. PSA. So I think between, other than James and I think everybody else is kind of...
Thanks
Well-
for subscribing.
What? Well, thanks for the sub. I appreciate that. You didn't have to do that, but thank you. I fixed the notification. Did you see? It was only one audio clip.
Yeah.
I didn't realize I had 2 alert
Might
boxes.
as well use my prime for something lol.
Oh, thanks.
I never use it.
Yeah, I think I used mine for half because, dude, it's carried me for years, and it's only. I mean, he's very particular about, like, in his stream, his stream description, like for his channel, he's like, don't sub, don't send bits, everything here is free. Use your money somewhere else. And then dude will get like a hype train of like 12, 15 people for no reason. I'm just like, golly. Probably because he's very engaging when he's streaming.
Yeah.
He's worked very hard on his stream.
Yeah.
And you don't want to miss anything. I watch his stream while I'm doing the script for the show, and I will often be like mid-typing and just staring at the screen over here. And then, oh shit, it's been 15 minutes. Oh god, I got to get this done. Anywho, let's dive into this. Let's get into it. We're going to have some fun with this. I hope everybody's ready. Again, this is Season 3, Episode 32 of Beyond the Shadows podcast. Tonight, we are discussing Hoia-Baciu, the most haunted forest in the world. Let's do this thing. Let's do it. Hope everybody's ready. I hope y'all got your soft blankets.
I'm so ready for a haunted forest.
Oh, you're ready? Are you ready, Hazel?
Ready.
I hope
Good,
everybody
good,
has
good.
their stuffed animals for comfort, because tonight's case might just chill you to the bone. It might, but most likely not. Well, let's get going. Let's get going, everybody. Season 3, Episode 32, the Hoia-Baciu Forest. Welcome, everybody. Let's get into it. This is Act 1, everybody. Act 1. Welcome to Hoia-Baciu. All right, here we go with the crazy names right off the bat. We went back and forth 5 or 6 times doing this one before we started. Just west. Is there a D in there? Just wedged? Wednesday? Wedged? Just west of Cluj-Napoca, one of the largest cities in Romania, sits a patch of woodland covering roughly 700 acres. At first glance, there isn't anything particularly supernatural about it, but people hike here. They ride bicycles here, families visit, but over the last several decades, Hoia-Baciu Forest has developed a reputation that extends far beyond Romania. Today, you'll routinely see it described as one of the most haunted forests in the world. The interesting thing is that some of the stories surrounding the forest appear to be much younger than the people might expect. One popular legend says the forest takes its name from a shepherd, a baciu, a Romanian word associated with the shepherd, who supposedly entered the woods with around 200 sheep and vanished without a trace. Neither the shepherd nor the animals were ever seen again. It's a fantastic origin story. The problem is finding solid historical evidence that it actually happened. That's something we're going to encounter repeatedly tonight. Hoia-Baciu has accumulated decades of legends, and many modern accounts repeat those stories as embellished history, even when the original source is difficult or sometimes impossible to identify. But the forest doesn't really need legends to look strange. One of its most recognizable features is the unusual shape of some of its trees. Photographs show trunks bending sharply, twisting around themselves, growing into shapes that look almost deliberately distorted. Some resemble corkscrews, others grow sideways before turning upward again. And it's easy to understand why somebody walking through these woods at dusk might feel like something isn't quite right. But twisted trees aren't necessarily paranormal. Trees can develop all sorts of unusual shapes because of competition for sunlight, damage while young, environmental conditions, disease, and countless other completely natural factors. The appearance of Hoia-Baciu is interesting, but appearance alone isn't evidence that something supernatural is happening. Then there's the clearing. And this is real. This is a real thing. I'm not making this up. This isn't a fabrication just for storytelling, I promise you. Deep within the forest is an almost circular area, or circular open area commonly called Hoia Rotonda, essentially meaning the round clearing. This location has become the centerpiece of the Hoia-Baciu mystery. From above, the clearing appears strangely distinct from the surrounding woodland. Trees grow around its perimeter, while the center remains largely open. Paranormal stories claim vegetation refuses to grow there, that electronic equipment behaves strangely inside it, and that people entering the clearing sometimes experience headaches, nausea, anxiety, and an overwhelming sensation that they're being watched. Some versions of the legend go considerably further. According to those stories, the clearing isn't simply haunted. It's a portal, a doorway to another dimension, or possibly a place where whatever normally separates our world from somewhere else becomes unusually thin. And again, those are extraordinary claims, and so far we haven't established extraordinary evidence to support them. But something happened during the 12th century that changed the reputation of these woods forever. Beginning around the 1950s, a Romanian researcher named Alexandru Sift became fascinated with unusual phenomena reportedly occurring inside the forest. Sift spent years photographing and studying the area, reportedly documenting strange lights, shadows, and unexplained shapes appearing in photographs. His work helped transform Hoia-Baciu from a place surrounded by local stories into something investigators could actually attempt to document. And then, in the summer of 1968, another man entered the forest carrying a camera. His name was Emil Barnea. He wasn't expecting to take one of the most famous photographs in Romanian UFO history, but according to Barnea, while standing near that strange circular clearing, something appeared in the sky above him. And unlike the ghosts, disappearing shepherds, and stories passed from person to person, this time, somebody took pictures. Okay, you with me?
Hey, I'm with you.
You with me?
I will say the clearing situation, like if I'm just walking through a haunted forest and I see a clearing, I'm not walking out into that thing. I got enough sense. I'm gonna stay hidden, go around.
Yeah, I'm 100% with you. I'm, especially as of late, we've seen a lot of mushrooms lately, and we had one mushroom in our front yard for a while, and then it went away. The next thing you know, we've got a ring of mushrooms. There's a reason I didn't cut the grass until they died.
The clearing is for sure a trap.
Oh, yes. Do you know what a fairy circle is? Yeah. So essentially, a ring of mushrooms is a fairy circle. Don't cross a fairy circle, people. It's just asking for trouble. I will go around them. I've noticed one in our yard. I noticed one in our neighbor's yard over here. A big one, like 10, 12 foot across. And I'm wondering if that's why they took so long to cut their grass, too. But it seemed like all of a sudden, boom, there's these fucking rings of mushrooms in everybody's yards.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, no. The last time I cut the grass, not yesterday, but the week before when I cut grass, there was like one or two mushrooms left, and you could see me if you watch the camera. I'm up there kicking the mushrooms. Get the fuck out of here! Kicking them. We haven't had any mushrooms back.
Fairy circle. Don't destroy a fairy circle, and absolutely do not cut down a fairy tree.
Absolutely. So I did not cut the grass until the mushrooms died and went away, except for like one. And now there's none left. They're all gone. So you don't fuck with circles. Circles in nature, rings in nature, don't fuck with them. Especially like if I was hiking through the forest and I step to the edge of a clearing and I look and I see it's this big clearing in the middle of the woods.
Yeah.
I'm going to stay right there. I'm not going in that son of a bitch.
Yeah.
But apparently a lot of people go through there because I did find some photos when I was looking for some photo evidence for tonight. There's like a four-wheel drive road that runs right through the middle of it.
Oh, that's kind of lame.
Yeah. But
A little
apparently,
less intimidating.
yeah, apparently a number of years ago it was very popular, and there's been so much trouble in that spot that now they don't let the four-wheel drive vehicles go through there.
Huh. Wow. Okay.
So, just saying, lots of people are breaking down. Like the photos I saw, you could tell there was like a tow truck came in and pulled somebody out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because they'd leave very clear marks, very distinct marks from a regular vehicle.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's very interesting. We'll hold on to the photos for now.
Okay.
Let's wait until we cover everything that the photos are going to touch on, and then we'll look at some photos. So probably like Act 3-ish.
Okay.
How you feeling so far about it?
Yeah, I mean, it sounds kind of cool. There are some things that, you know, if I saw them, if I just accidentally happened on this forest and I knew, like, something creepy is happening here, that I definitely would not engage in. Like, for example, the clearing.
The clearing, yeah.
But UFO situation's weird. It's already weird.
Yeah,
to me.
it's
How do you
seeming
get
like,
a haunted forest and a UFO at the same time?
yeah, it's almost seeming like this is a Romanian triangle kind of thing. That there's just a lot of weird shit happening in this area. There were reports in some of the information I looked up last night that said like compass needles go crazy, which is another thing that makes me wonder about.
A beacon for the strange and unknown.
Yeah, like I'd say Romanian triangle because I don't know what else.
Right.
What else is it's going on there, but it's got like a Bridgewater Bermuda Triangle kind of vibe.
Right.
There's like magnetic anomalies. There's weird stuff happening. There's ghosts, disappearances, UFO sightings. It's all sorts. Everything that you could tick off
Yeah.
for a triangle is what we're getting here, and it's all centered around this one little chunk of woods. Indeed. I actually need to use the bathroom. Are you?
Yeah, I can take a bathroom break.
Let's take a quick bathroom break, folks. Forgive us. I am 40, and I need to use the bathroom regularly.
You really almost are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, next month I turn 40. Don't remind me. Yeah. All right, we're going to take a quick break, use the bathroom, pet this puppy's chin, and
I will we too in solidarity.
thank you so much.
Yay!
Yes. Group we, let's go, everybody. Hold hands. Here we go. We'll be right back, folks. Poking his head through the window. Yeah. Fucking nightmare fuel. Absolutely nightmare fuel. So strange that we're seeing a barn owl in an area where they're not even supposed to be. I assumed it was a snow owl. I was wrong. So yeah, a weird parallel drawn between individual cases where people are saying they're seeing a barn owl and it's looking through their window, or they're seeing it outside, or it's in a place where they can see it clearly through their window, right? And not but moments tales. And regretfully, see, you're already starting to smile. Regretfully, I think I'm going to lean towards the siren probably isn't real.
I'm so sorry.
Marcel would later say that once he saw the extent of the field, it was immediately clear that this wasn't conventional wreckage. The debris wasn't localized, it stretched for thousands of feet. Marcel described it as if something had exploded silently in the sky, distributing fragments over a wide area. It'll take you all our socials. You can email us at beyondshadowspodcast@gmail.com. The email is at the bottom of the screen. You can tell us anything you want to know. We're glad to read your story out on the podcast, and we'll talk about it, pick it apart, do whatever you want. Even if you don't want us to read it out, it's fine. We can mention things kind of sideways to keep your anonymity intact. Release the Epstein files, damn it.
I say EPIs to bypass blockers.
Right, yeah, I get it. Yeah. Yeah, so if this podcast doesn't come back next week, it's because the government shut down our podcast. So I used the full word Epstein. Oops. Oopsies. Find yourself on a fishing vessel in the middle of the ocean with a phone in your hand, recording obvious sirens in the water next to your boat. Don't panic. Keep recording. But whatever you do, make sure you follow us beyond the shadows.
Nuclear bombs.
Beast is not dead. I put 4 bullets into him.
Oh, you're crazy.
But I saw that monster too. All I want is for someone to believe me. Look, I was scared to death.
Right, let's get to work.
Brazel went to the Chaves County Sheriff's Office in Roswell and spoke with Sheriff George Wilcox. Wilcox took one look at the material and contacted Roswell Army Airfield. And from that moment on, control of the situation shifted completely. The military didn't send a casual patrol, they sent intelligence. Major Jesse Marcel and Counterintelligence Corps Agent Sheridan Cavett were dispatched to release you from your burden of watching those absolutely horrendous clips.
Oh,
We're back.
we're back.
We're back. Those clips are really bad. There's a reason they're here and not on social media. Anywhoots. All right, we're setting up for something really fantastic here. A nice foundation here. The stories alone are just different, all the way around different. We're not seeing a lot of like American paranormal stories that start out with just a smash of everything. Usually it's like one thing, like, oh, this is the bridge where the goat man lives under, and if you wear high-heeled shoes, he'll clip off your eyelids. But that's it.
But the goat man's never met an alien. And
Yeah. Yeah, clearly we're dealing with a forest that has something else going on. I don't remember if one of the things I'm thinking about for this forest is in the investigation tonight. If it's not, I'll bring it up later. You just have to remind me. I can remember what you're talking about if you remind me. Anyway, are you ready for Act 2?
I'm ready.
All right, let's do some spooky nighttime sounds since we're dealing with the forest tonight. You got it, girl. Go ahead.
Act 2. What happens inside the forest? Act 2. If Hoia-Baciu were famous only for crooked trees and unusual... There we go. An unusual clearing, we probably wouldn't be talking about it tonight. What transformed this place into one of the most infamous haunted forests are all of the stories told by people who actually went inside. And strangely, many of those stories sound remarkably similar. Visitors have reported entering the forest and suddenly experiencing intense anxiety, nausea, dizziness, headaches, and the overwhelming feeling that somebody or something is watching them. Others describe hearing footsteps and something moving through the leaves behind them. They stop, the footsteps stop. They start walking again, and whatever is behind them seems to start walking too. There are reports of voices coming from deeper inside the woods when nobody appears to be around. Some visitors claim they've heard whispering, others describe laughter or the sound of someone calling from somewhere between the trees. Then there are the physical marks. Stories surrounding the forest frequently mention people discovering scratches, bruises, or red marks on their skin without remembering how they received them. Photographs supposedly taken inside the forest sometimes contain strange lights, shadows, or shapes that witnesses claim weren't visible when the picture was taken. None of this by itself proves anything paranormal. Walking through unfamiliar woods can create exactly the kind of environment where your senses begin working against you. Branches snap, animals move through vegetation, wind creates sounds that can resemble whispers, shadows change constantly beneath a dense canopy. And if you've already been told you're entering one of the most haunted forests on Earth, every unexplained noise suddenly becomes much more interesting. But some Hoia-Baciu stories are considerably harder to dismiss, assuming they happened at all. One of the most famous involves a young girl who supposedly disappeared inside the forest. According to the story, the girl entered the woods and vanished. Searches failed to locate her, and eventually hope of finding her disappeared. Then years later, she supposedly walked out of the forest. She was wearing the same clothes, she hadn't visibly aged, and according to some versions, she believed almost no time had passed. It's an incredible story. It's also one we should be incredibly careful with. Despite being repeated constantly in articles, paranormal documentaries, and tourism material about Hoia-Baciu, reliable information identifying the girl or documenting the original disappearance is remarkably hard to find. There are no easily verifiable police records attached to the story, no clearly identified family, and no solid contemporary reporting establishing that the event occurred as described. In other words, this may tell us more about how legends grow than about what actually happens inside the forest. There's another famous disappearance story involving the shepherd we mentioned earlier, who supposedly entered the woods with approximately 200 sheep and never returned. Once again, the details change depending on who's telling the story. And once again, establishing exactly when this supposedly happened or finding contemporary documentation of it is extremely difficult. But there's one particular claim surrounding the Hoia-Baciu that appears again and again: missing time. Some visitors say they've entered the woods believing they've been inside for only a short period, only to discover that considerably more time has passed. And that brings us back to Hoia na Rotunda, the round clearing. Because, according to paranormal investigators, this is where some of the forest's strangest activities is concentrated. People report sudden temperature changes, malfunctioning electronics, and an intense feeling of uneasiness while standing inside the clearing. Some believe it's simply an unusual natural feature. Others believe there's something beneath it. And then there are those who believe the clearing isn't simply a clearing at all. They believe it's a doorway. But before we start opening portals to other dimensions, there's another possibility we need to investigate. Because in 1968, Emil Barnea didn't claim to see a ghost in these woods. He looked above the trees and saw something in the sky. Oh, I'm so glad you get to get the UFO section. That's perfect for you.
Yeah, I do get the UFO section.
Perfect.
Should I put my tinfoil hat on now? So yeah, we're really getting like Bermuda Triangle, Bridgewater Triangle vibe, like for sure at this point. Lots and lots of people are experiencing a lot of the same phenomena that you would see inside of one of the most popular triangles. I will say that for some people, areas with magnetic anomalies will affect their what's the sense that keeps you balance and keeps you standing up straight? The thing that
equilibrium.
Yes. The magnetic fields can affect your equilibrium, and dizziness, disorientation, nausea, all of those things are kind of hand in hand when it comes to equilibrium.
Yeah.
I can remember as a young, remember I showed you the picture of the bridge I used to jump off of?
Yeah.
I landed sideways and ruptured my eardrum.
Ooh.
and it fucked up my equilibrium for like 2 weeks, and I was just nauseous and dizzy and couldn't stand, couldn't walk, couldn't drive, couldn't do anything for like 2 weeks. It was horrible. But apparently, magnetic anomalies will do that same thing to you. And I almost feel like this could be one of the reasons why nothing grows in the clearing. I don't know if like different magnetic fields can affect plants, but apparently they have tried to plant things in this clearing and nothing will grow but grass, which is weird.
Yeah.
And still, even the grass is kind of hard to grow from what I understand, but we'll see some pictures here in a little bit. I do want to pull this up on Google Maps and take a look at it.
Okay.
I think it would definitely be worth a look, and we can answer the big question, the one I love asking, is who's making money off of this? Because I feel like this is such a
Pollinating insects operate with magnetic fields.
yeah, like maybe bees and stuff won't go in there, so plants can't propagate or something. I don't know.
Maybe. Are you pulling it up now, or are you gonna do it?
I'm gonna do it after Act 3.
Okay, I need to grab something. I'll be right back.
Okay. I have no idea what she's going to grab. She could be coming back wearing an inflatable suit for all I know. Do we have an inflatable suit? We do. We have an inflatable dinosaur suit somewhere. And, no, it would take some time for her to do that. I haven't seen it in a good number.
Pie.
Custard pie. What about custard pie? She could be coming back with custard pie? Oh, you're cold. I'm sorry. Usually it's actually a little warmer in here than it. I went up 2 degrees from what it usually is.
Yes.
Worlds thought you were going to come back with custard pie. Security blanket, literally.
Oh,
My favorite blanket.
I decided to get Pan and blanket. Had to grab a stuffed animal early.
Yeah. You got to be comfy cozy when
Cozy
doing.
time.
Yes, precisely. I run hot, so I am. There's actually an air conditioner right above me, and it's pointing straight down on me. Unfortunately, she runs cold, so she gets the blow by. And I'm sorry. It's actually 2 degrees warmer than it usually is in here,
Yeah.
and I don't know.
But what was it the other day? It was like 71 in here, and I had to have 3 blankets on, or in the bedroom.
Yeah. No, it was 72 in the other room. And while I was doing the script, you're like, is there another blanket?
And I just texted him and said, can you please, I was like, I'm sorry to bother you, but can you please bring me another blanket because I'm too cold to move.
And so I come in there, I put 2 more blankets on her. I come back. So we're in the room next to our bedroom. So I come back into the office, finish the script. Like 45 minutes later, and she's already out from underneath her blankets, sprawled out because she's hot. And I'm like, good golly.
That's very cold though.
Nothing wrong with being cozy, though. I like a good soft blanket. You know,
Yeah.
there's a piece of me that thinks that's the reason I like it cold, because I like soft, comfy blankets. And I love being under my blanket, but if it's hot, I can't be under my blanket. So, there you go. So in case you haven't noticed, everybody, my tinfoil hat has been activated. I hope you guys have yours on, or your parchment hats, what have you, or your amazing head of red hair, either one, or your comfy blankets and your soft comfort stuffies. Touch them close, because we're about to dive into Act 3. In Act 3, we're covering the UFO portion of this investigation. It's about to get hairy. And we're not talking Harry Potter here.
Fucking hairy eyeball.
Harry Eyeball. We're talking Harry Eyeball. All right. This screen keeps flickering and it's driving me crazy. Ugh. Any hoots, let's get into it. This is Act 3, everybody. Act 3. The UFO over Hoia-Baciu. Act 3. So on August 18th of 1968, Emil Barnea entered Hoia-Baciu with several companions. Unlike some of the stories we've discussed so far, what happened that day wouldn't survive only as a legend, because Barnea had a camera. And according to his accounts of the incident, the group was spending the day near Hoia Rotunda. Rotunda. Yeah. So Rotunda, look, rotund means round. But it's from Romania, so it's Rotunda. That's the round clearing, where someone noticed something unusual above the trees. There was an object in the sky. Barnea reportedly grabbed his camera and began taking photographs. The resulting images show what appears to be a dark, disc-shaped object suspended above the landscape. In different photographs, the object seems to change its orientation as it moves across the sky before eventually disappearing from view. And remember, when this happened in 1968, there were no smartphones, no Photoshop, no consumer drones hovering above the trees, and UFO sightings were already a sensitive subject in communist Romania. Barnea reportedly faced criticism after taking the photographs public, partly because openly discussing UFOs didn't exactly fit comfortably with the political environment of the country at the time. But somehow the photographs survived, and they became arguably the most important physical evidence associated with Hoia-Baciu. Barnea wasn't the first person interested in the strange things happening above these woods either. Years earlier, Alexandru Sift had begun investigating unusual phenomena in the area. Sift reportedly spent years photographing the forest and collecting images containing unexplained lights, shadows, and unusual shapes. And after Sift died in 1993, much of his collection reportedly disappeared, although some surviving material continued circulating among researchers. Together, the work of Sift and Barnea helped create a completely different side of the Hoia-Baciu mystery. This wasn't just a haunted forest anymore. Now, it was a UFO hotspot. The Barnea photographs have been analyzed and debated for decades. Supporters argue that objects appear solid, maintains a recognizable shape, and was photographed several times rather than appearing in a single photographic defect. Skeptics point out something equally important. A photograph of an unidentified object doesn't automatically make that object extraterrestrial. But without knowing its exact distance from the camera, determining its true size becomes extremely difficult. A relatively small object close to the camera can appear enormous against a distant background, but there's also the possibility of a thrown object, photographic manipulation, misidentification, or simply an ordinary object captured from an unusual angle. But there's another reason the photographs remain interesting. Barnea wasn't reportedly alone. Other people were supposedly present during the sighting, meaning the object wasn't simply something discovered later after the film was developed. According to the story, the witnesses actually watched it moving through the sky while Barnea photographed it. But that doesn't prove the object came from another planet. It doesn't even prove it was something extraordinary. But compared with the story about disappearing shepherds or a child returning years later without aging, this case gives us something those legends don't. Something we can actually look at. Because if you're trying to determine whether the Hoia-Baciu deserved its paranormal reputation, the Barnea photographs are among the strongest pieces of evidence we have. But they also create a strange question. Why here? Why would reports of ghosts, strange lights, physical sensations, missing time, and unidentified objects all become associated with this one relatively small forest? Believers have proposed an answer. They argue that the strange clearing at the center of Hoia-Baciu isn't simply where paranormal activity happens. They believe it may be the reason it happens. And according to some versions of the story, whatever is unusual about Hoia-Rotundu doesn't stop with ghosts or UFOs. Something about the ground may be different. So next, we're going directly to the center of the forest. Because if Hoia-Baciu has a paranormal ground zero, this is it. All right. Are we ready to see some photo evidence?
Ready.
Okay. There was something I let me see if it's still highlighted.
The night too.
Yes. Okay, so I highlighted something from Act 2 that I wanted to cover that I didn't cover. Big red flag here. Big red flag, but not in a bad way. More in a paranormal way. The line was, there were reports of voices coming from deeper in the woods when nobody else appears to be around. Some visitors claimed they heard whispering. Others described laughter or the sound of someone calling from somewhere between the trees. So there are many, many reports all through history. Specifically starting in like medieval England. Traditionally speaking, there was always like a dark wood, heavy air quotes, dark wood, next to some village or hamlet. And people were always warned not to go into that part of the forest. So people already had it in their brains not to go into the forest, that it wasn't safe there, but nobody could ever really say why. So eventually, as time goes on, there were reports in early medieval England of people hearing their name being called from the same dark forest. And this can be attributed to a great number of things. The big one is elves. So elves have a very, very dirty, muddled history with humans. I don't know how you feel about elves, about the legitimacy, but historically speaking, there was a time in human culture where if you were to have a child, you had a very real fear of something called a changeling. Have you ever heard of a changeling? Do you know what a changeling is?
Yeah.
So early human history has these changeling stories come up, and it's usually dealing with a family has a child, and the child is great. It doesn't fuss, it doesn't cry, and they're usually kind and very well-tempered, and then overnight something will change, and then all of a sudden that child is crying all the time and throwing fits and throwing a tantrum and won't eat. And this is where the changeling comes in, because the story goes that during the night, the elves would steal. Elves or fairies, it could go either way. Elves is what I'm most familiar with. The elves of the deep forest would steal your child to take for their own and replace it with one of their own. And it would change its appearance to look like your child. And that's why the temperament changed. And there are all sorts of horrible, horrible things that they did to children to try to get the changeling to leave and get their real child back. And there are legitimate reports through the Catholic Church where people said that, yes, I have a changeling. This is not my child. And they would do crazy, horrible things to the child. Then the weird part is this is documented. The child would disappear. And then the next morning they would hear crying in the woods, and they would find a child in the woods, and it was their child. And their temperament had changed. They go back to being a quiet baby and didn't throw fits. And so this is where the concept of the changeling comes from. And as the child gets older...
Wouldn't be like the Catholic Church to do something effed up.
Oh, no. Catholic Church doesn't ever do anything. No. But as the child gets older, a trick that the elves or the fairies would use would be to call the child's name from the forest. So some of the earlier medieval folklores or around the dark forest is if you hear your name being called from the woods, don't follow it because you're never going to be able to find where the voice is coming from. And by the time you realize you're chasing the wind, it's too late and you're lost. So this is a very old, very deep-rooted story in folklore that seems to be showing its head in this story. And this is like exactly that. People are hearing footsteps behind them, or they're hearing noise that draws their attention. What you're hearing is something that's supposed to draw you away from a trail or a path or a road. And the whole point is to get you lost. It could be fairies, it could be elves, it could be all sorts of different things. But this concept of something calling you deeper into the forest is not a new thing. It's been around for thousands and thousands of years. I've said this before, and I'll say it again. There's an absolutely fantastic production on it's on Spotify. It's called the Bridgewater Triangle, and they took the idea of the Bridgewater Triangle, which is essentially a triangle, just like the Bermuda Triangle, where weird things happen in a concentrated area. And somebody wrote a fiction story, but it's like a radio drama. There's sound effects and there's voice actors and they act things out, and fantastic little show. I think there's like 8 or 10 episodes. Makes a fantastic story, but part of that story is one of the characters, his son has been missing since he was a boy. And the story is that, you know, fairies or elves let him into the woods and they never brought him back. I'll let you go down that rabbit hole yourselves, but as the story goes on, he hears his son's voice calling him from the forest, and it keeps drawing him into the forest, and eventually he does get lost, and he gets replaced by something.
Interesting.
And so, like, everybody thinks he's the guy from the story, but really he's not. The guy from the story is lost in the woods chasing this voice. So this concept of hearing voices or noises in the woods that are familiar to you is not new. It's been around for ages. So if you are ever in the woods, don't ever chase that sound. Don't ever chase it. It's the same kind of vibe you get from like fairy circles. Don't cross a fairy circle. Don't chase sounds in the woods. Don't chase voices in the woods.
Solid advice.
Yeah, like, I mean, even in back rooms. When we were watching back rooms, you notice how the back rooms were, spoiler alert, if y'all haven't watched the movie yet, I'm about to ruin a small piece for you. In the movie, you notice that the back rooms was imitating characters' voices.
Yeah.
Yeah. Same thing. It's not a new concept. It's been around forever, and it's horrifying.
Yeah.
It did a great job.
Yeah, that's one of the things I was thinking about later that I was talking about earlier is the fact that one character, you only hear that character, but you don't see them after they disappear. You only hear them. And like later I thought, yeah, that wasn't that character. That was...
Yeah, like she was like, oh, I can see through the window, but there's no window.
Yeah.
Yeah, come on.
Yeah.
It's the same thing.
Yeah.
Exact same thing. Just playing by different rules.
Yeah.
Go watch Backrooms. Go watch Backrooms. It's so good. Well, all right. Let me scroll down so I don't lose our spot in the script here. We've covered the UFO.
You miss act?
Oh, did I? Did it go from 3 to 5? Oh, it did. Give me a second. Banter for just a second.
Oh, gosh. I feel like every time you tell me to do that, it's like, I don't know. It just catches me off guard every time. But, I guess I could talk about Backrooms some more for a minute.
Yeah, you can. That's acceptable. I'm
So,
almost done anyway.
There is a character in Backrooms who goes in to the Backrooms that when this character goes in, I thought,
Ooh.
they have absolutely no real reason to go in. Like, you think that the script leads you to believe, I guess, that they're going in because they believe it's their job. But I'm just going to tell you, you know who I'm talking about. I'm trying not to ruin it.
Yeah.
But when that character went in, I thought, absolutely not. This is no longer my job.
Yeah, like you could see her like second guessing herself, and then at a certain point she's like, nah.
Yeah,
It's
the moment I walked in, I would have been like,
my hand
No,
just
I'm
passed
good.
through that wall. I'm good.
yeah, I'm not being paid for this. I'm not, yeah. This is I'm going to be for just a moment a cog in the wheel of capitalism, and I am not going to go try to find this person.
Well, on the flip side of that coin, I just finished the book series The Magicians again for like the 5th time. And one of the main characters in The Magicians, if y'all have ever seen the TV show, you're going to see right where I'm at here. Quentin Coldwater, the main character. In the books, he deals with this personal dilemma of always wanting to have the call to action. Like, he literally says, oh, this is a quest. This is the quest. This is the quest I've been looking for my whole life. And so, like, every little thing that comes up, he's like, oh, this is my quest. This is what I'm doing. And then it's like, no, it's just a talking horse. Oh, no, this is my quest. No, that tree's just bent funny. Oh, no, this is my quest. No, those are just leaves blown in the wind. And through the whole book series, all the way up until, like, the second to last chapter, he's like, this is what my quest has been this whole time. And, like, the author says it all the time in the direct quote for Quentin, this is my quest. This is what I've been meant to do. And in the end, yes, it was his quest, but that's what I was feeling like. Oh, girl in the movie goes downstairs and, like, she hesitates. And I'm like, this is your quest. This is all that kept running in the back of my head. It's like, this is your quest. Do it. This is your quest. She comes out okay, I think. You don't really find out what happened to her at the end. What a weird way to end it, though.
I think I have my own theories about that, but I can't talk about them without spoiling it. So we'll talk about them later.
Yeah. Y'all watch the movie and come back and we'll talk about it then.
You have to get out of that and then get into the other thing.
Yeah, so we're about to look at pictures. You haven't seen any of the pictures.
I haven't seen.
So don't look over here. We're dealing with dual monitors, folks.
Why is there an empty picture frame over here on the side?
So we're going to start off with the clearing. Are y'all ready? So if y'all are listening and not actively paying attention, this is the time when you need to start paying attention because we're about to look at photos. Hazel, are you ready?
Ready.
Welcome to the clearing. This is a piece of the round clear. It looks much better on stream than it does here at home. We have stretched this tiny photograph that fits this huge screen. This is just one of the many one of the many photos of the clearing. There's so many photos of this thing. This is one of the better ones. It is clearly devoid of anything.
I hate it.
Right? It gives a weird vibe, right? There's clearly something going on here. It's you're laughing. Why are you laughing?
So the way that the chat is read to us.
Oh, they hear it.
Yeah, it's just really funny because Otto's message was,
I hate it.
I hate it.
I hate it.
And it was awesome. It
Great
was
timing.
perfect.
So this is one of the photos of the round clearing in the middle of the forest. For those of you listening, not watching later on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, this is very clearly a clearing in the middle of nowhere. There's a very clearly defined edge of the forest here.
Like a mound in the middle that almost looks like a place where you would do some type of sacrifice.
Yeah, it does give like a ritualistic vibe. I almost feel like somebody did the circle thing because this is the only photo I saw with the circle. But let's look at,
again, that also speaks to just how creepy humans are in general. Like,
yeah, somebody's
the
like,
forest itself doesn't have to be paranormal. There are obviously creepy humans wandering around this forest trying to make people freak out.
Trying to make shit worse than it needs to be. Clearly. But what's weird is I keep looking at this one over here because it just looks better in a smaller resolution. You don't see any like clearly defined tracks. So, like my knee-jerk reaction was, oh, this is somebody just doing donuts. But you would get all sorts of dirt spray, and this is almost like somebody literally intentionally scraped the ground to the dirt and made a circle. But it doesn't always look like this. You ready to see an overhead shot of it? So here's an overhead shot. I'm assuming this is almost what you would see on like Google Maps. You can see the track. See the track just barely running through the middle of it. Yeah, like clearly, see there's dirt here? A lot of people just pulled up and just
wow.
stopped.
That's much worse.
Yeah, like it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make fucking sense. It's like someone just went into map editor and just deleted all the trees. It's really fucking weird. It's really fucking weird. Scientists have gone.
Scoop.
Huh?
A little scoop
Up
around
here?
the yeah.
Yeah, it's almost like it used to be bigger, but it's like these shapes here. Like this. There's a trail here. There's a trail here. So that's. It's funny because this break in the edge is people pulling up and stopping. It's got to be. That's the only thing that would make this clear, because it's clearly, if somebody was just going straight through.
It feels like there's supposed to be some sort of body of water there.
Right. And what's crazy is like if you see the openings here. So there's two openings. There's one here and one here. It's like somebody came up and stopped, and instead of going through the middle, they just decided to go one way or the other and go around it. That's exactly what it looks like to me.
Which was, the best plan.
Which,
Right?
yeah, it's a giant fairy circle. Don't fucking cross it. I want to pull this one up on Google Maps. So let me shift right quick.
Hexagon.
Yeah, it's definitely weird shaped. Oh, geez, how do we spell this? H-O...
That's right there. Actor.
Oh, there we go. All right. So here we go. Let's slide this over. So this is Hoia-Baciu Forest. It's really weird that it's just like a chunk of trees. And yeah, you would think that it would just be consistent all the way across. But look at that. You could see it from Google's. Oh my gosh. Yeah, it's still a thing. Look, you see the faint track of a road here. It's funny because it used to go this way across, and now the road goes along the side. So like people are clearly avoiding the middle of this, but they want to go there. So there is a road there. Yeah, you can see it now. Yeah, totally weird. It's like, look at the rest of the forest. Oh, what's that? Oh, that's just a shadow. That's a field. Is it? What the hell is going on there? That's not a field. That's weird too. Game trails. That's deer. What is this? It is kind of isolated though, I'm not gonna lie. Strange that the cities forked around the forest instead of going through it.
I love though that there's just a McDonald's over here on the bottom right hand corner. Like,
McDonald's. There we go. Yeah, once
You
we, oh,
know-
they can't see it because it's behind us.
Go ahead and fuel yourself on McDonald's and then go to the haunted forest. I feel like it's just a 2026 thing to have.
What is
What a time
this?
to be
There's so
alive.
many like random things here. Let's look at the Google Photos.
But if you took a Happy Meal to the ghosties in the forest, would that appease them so you could
Will that give you?
Bar dad bar bar bar, I'm haunting it.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Oh yeah, look, here's some of the weird trees.
Ooh. Hmm.
We don't want to see your videos. Yeah, that's just... I mean, flowers are growing, but it is really weird that, like... Yeah, there's, like, deadfall. That is so weird, and it's smooth. That's the weird part about it is, it's almost like it's manicured.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, it just looks like grass barely clinging to life there. That's all it looks like to me. Deadfall and everything. Very interesting. So what is this over here? I want to see what this is. Oh. Is there a spring over here? A natural spring. That's interesting. Interesting that there's a spring near some place that is supposedly paranormal. Interesting indeed. All right. Let me queue up some more photos. We've got a few more photos to look at here. All right, so next up are some of the trees. These are some of the weirder ones. What do you think about that?
That's wild.
And it's weird because all of them are doing it. It almost feels like an MC Escher painting,
Yeah.
like surrealism.
Yeah.
It's super strange. There's something really weird going on in this forest. So remind me at the end, if I don't cover it, there is kind of a concept about this. Just remind me at the end, say it's about the trees and why they're shaped that way. I don't want to say too much right now. Save it for the end. I'll save it for the end. But the trees are very, very weird. And there's only a small portion of them that are shaped like this. But what gets me is one of the ideas, the one I want you to remind me of later. If it were the actual reason for this to happen, it would affect this entire area. And you'll understand why when I say it. This whole next section is about this area, so I don't want to get too deep into it. But these are the weirder trees. Are you ready to see some of the UFO photos? I made the same face. I did too, admittedly.
It feels like it's like a water droplet or something.
It looked like a hat to me. Looks like somebody chucked their hat. A little late. So 60s, 70s, I think, 60s. When this picture was taken, this hat would be kind of prevalent in the 20s. In America, not in Romania, especially communist Romania. Communist Romania, everybody dresses the same. It's an unconventional shape for a UFO. But the thing is we have it from multiple angles. It changes. So one of the earliest videos of UFOs we have
does. It looks like someone angled their camera upwards and took a photo of a water droplet on the lens.
A water droplet? Yeah, I guess I could see that. So this shape is similar to one of the earliest recorded videos of a UFO. And it seems like it's only in the early UFOs where you get the wobble, is what I like to call it, where you have something that is... This is a great example. This is a really great example. Because this has that same kind of like hat shape to it. You would see it from an angle like this, and then the next photo it would be tipped up from the other angle, or it'd be just a little... So like early photos and videos, it was like the UFO was wobbling back and forth as it took flight. So the first UFO video we have that to this day it's unable to be explained. It's a UFO shape like this, and it kind of wobbles a little bit. So it's flying and it's like rotating but wobbling at the same time. Like somebody would balance a plate on like a stick, you know what I'm talking about? Same kind of motion where it has a little bit of a camber and canter to it. This is the same time frame, which is, it's weird to me because this is the only time frame where we see that type of movement in UFOs. From this point forward in time, we get very precise movements, silent movements, quick jerking motions, similar to what we see today. It just seemed like 1960 and back, things were just a little different. Almost like the first ones that got here had a flat tire, and they weren't quite moving correctly. And, you know, they say, oh, well, yeah, there's something to look at there. Send more people,
Yeah.
or whatever. I don't know how it works. I'm not an alien. I'm clearly not an alien. But this isn't the only photos we have. So let's look at, we got a couple more here. So this is another one. Same guy. So this is the guy in the 70s that came through and took pictures. Oh no, this is the guy that came through before the guy in the 70s. This is the guy in the 60s. Remember, he was photographing like weird shapes and shadows and movements in the forest.
Yeah.
This is one of his, and we have one more that's probably the most fantastical. I love using the word fantastical because nobody uses it. This one could literally be something on the lens. It could be a bug caught mid-flight. It could be a bunch of different things. I don't feel great about this one, but it is presented as evidence, and in the sake of transparency, it's worth showing. But we got one more. And this is the one that made me go, oh shit, last night when I was doing this. I said it out loud. So, are you ready?
Ready.
Don't laugh. Don't laugh. I mean, what else could this be? Think of anything man-made. What could it be?
I have no idea.
For 1963, what could it be?
It just... Where is this? I mean, I know where they say it is, but like there's nothing around it.
Yeah, no
to
point of
indicate.
reference. Supposedly, this one was taken looking into the forest. Allegedly. The guy's not alive today, so I wasn't able to talk to him.
You should have called on the
That's who I
phone.
should have called, yeah. But no, it's fantastical, but I feel like this is more convincing than the other ones.
Yeah, I mean,
Think of the amount of money and time and effort it would take to lug something into this area in 1963 to set this up for one photograph that barely made ripples in the UFO community.
was it actually lugged into that area? Because I still don't see any proof that that's where he was. Like, you know?
Okay. Okay.
I'm breaking Victus's heart right now.
Fine. Fantastical photographs, and
You just said it could be a bug.
I said the last one could be a bug.
Okay.
This
I
one,
do think the one before this was something on the lens.
Yeah.
Because of the way that I just don't know. I mean, I don't know about... yeah, that one looks like something on the lens. That
Yeah.
looks like a gnat is on the lens.
yeah, it looks a little too close. Like this is, yeah, like this is clearly a different frame of reference compared to the rest of it. Yeah, it's a little, eh.
If the other one was taken in the forest, I can see how that would be an oh shit moment, but
Oh shit! Yeah, you say it with so much gusto. I'm so taken aback by your drive to
my
prove this
invective.
really paranormal. All right, so we've seen the photo evidence, everybody. Are you ready to dive into Act 4?
I'm ready.
All right. We're going to fade this out, and you got the mic, girl. Do that thing.
The Dead Zone, Act 4, The Dead Zone. At the center of the Hoia-Baciu mystery is the place we've mentioned several times tonight. Hoia Rotunda, the round clearing. From above, it's easy to understand why the location attracts attention. Surrounded by dense woodland, the clearing forms a strangely open patch of ground where large trees don't dominate the center the way they do immediately around it. And according to paranormal lore, there's a reason for that. You'll frequently hear the clearing described as the dead zone, a place where vegetation simply refuses to grow. But that's not entirely true. Vegetation does grow there. The clearing contains grasses and other low-growing plants. What makes the area unusual is the absence of mature trees across much of its center. Saying nothing grows there makes the place sound considerably more mysterious than it actually is. The clearing has become the focal point of some of Hoia-Baciu's strangest claims. Visitors and paranormal investigators have reported headaches, nausea, dizziness, and sudden feelings of anxiety while standing inside it. Others claim batteries drain unexpectedly, cameras malfunction, and electronic equipment behaves strangely. There are also claims of unusual electromagnetic readings. A strange reading on an EMF meter doesn't automatically mean you've discovered paranormal activity. Electromagnetic fields can come from electrical infrastructure, communications equipment, geological conditions, and the equipment being carried by investigators themselves. To demonstrate that something genuinely unusual is happening, researchers would need repeatable measurements taken under controlled conditions and compared against measurements from other areas of the forest. And convincing scientific evidence of that kind is difficult to find. Then there are the trees. Pictures of Hoia-Baciu often show trunks twisting into spirals, bending sharply, and growing in bizarre shapes. Some paranormal explanations suggest an unknown force is physically affecting the trees. But trees aren't perfectly engineered structures. Their growth can be influenced by wind, snow, damage, competition for sunlight, soil conditions, animals, and injuries suffered while they're young. A crooked tree is interesting. A forest containing a crooked tree is creepy, but neither necessarily requires a paranormal explanation. Of course, that hasn't stopped people from proposing one. Some believers argue that the round clearing sits above an unusual concentration of energy. Others claim it's a location where the boundary between dimensions becomes weaker. And then we arrive at perhaps the most spectacular Hoia-Baciu theory of all, the portal. Some claim people have seen strange figures appear and disappear near the clearing. Others describe unexplained lights or sensations of being pulled toward particular areas. Missing time stories have also become connected with the idea that someone could briefly leave our reality without realizing it. It's an incredible possibility. It's also one for which we currently have no reliable physical evidence. And then there's an explanation we can't ignore. Expectation. Imagine entering these woods at night after being told you're walking into the most haunted forest on Earth. You've heard about disappearances, you've seen pictures of twisted trees, you've been told people hear voices, you've been warned that electronics malfunction, and somebody has just informed you that the clearing ahead might be a portal to another dimension. Your brain is now waiting for something to happen. Every branch breaking behind you is louder. Every shadow looks unusual. Every headache becomes suspicious. And if your camera battery dies, you aren't thinking about the battery, you're thinking about the forest. None of that means every person who reports something unusual here imagined it, and it doesn't explain what Emil Barnea photographed in 1968. But it does demonstrate how easily a place can develop a reputation and then have that reputation influence the experiences of the people who visit it. Which leaves us with one final question. After stripping away the legends, the disappearing shepherd, the portal stories, the twisted trees, and decades of paranormal tourism, is there actually anything left that we can't explain? Because it's time to decide whether the Hoia-Baciu really deserves to be called the most haunted forest on Earth.
Where are you at, Club? Third.
Oh, there's no audio.
I'm over here talking into a muted mic. Sorry. Yeah, we're going to take a quick bathroom break. And we're going to go get our third host, who's been patiently waiting. And it may or may not have something to do with somebody's t-shirt tonight. So get your itchy little redemption finger points ready. We're going to go get our third host, and we're going to go over Act 5, and we've got a prediction to set up too. So here we go. Hold on, folks. We'll be right back. Poking his head through the window. Yeah. Fucking nightmare fuel. Absolutely nightmare fuel. So strange that we're seeing a barn owl in an area where they're not even supposed to be. I assumed it was a snow owl. I was wrong. So yeah, a weird parallel drawn between individual cases where people are saying they're seeing a barn owl and it's looking through their window, or they're seeing it outside, or it's in a place where they can see it clearly through their window, right? And not but moments tales. And regretfully, see, you're already starting to smile. Regretfully, I think I'm going to lean towards the siren probably isn't real.
I'm so sorry.
Marcel would later say that once he saw the extent of the field, it was immediately clear that this wasn't conventional wreckage. The debris wasn't localized. It stretched for thousands of feet. Marcel described it as if something had exploded silently in the sky, distributing fragments over a wide area. It'll take you all our socials. You can email us at beyondshadowspodcast@gmail.com. The email's at the bottom of the screen. You can tell us anything you want to know. We're glad to read your story out on the podcast, and we'll talk about it, pick it apart, do whatever you want. Even if you don't want us to read it out, it's fine. We can mention things kind of sideways to keep your anonymity intact. Release the Epstein files, damn it.
I say EPIs to bypass blockers.
Right, yeah, I get it. Yeah. Yeah, so if this podcast doesn't come back next week, it's because the government shut down our what? Just shut down. He's here. He's here. Oh, good gravy. Oh, no. You got a thing you want to say to everybody? Anything at all you want to say? He's my bro.
Basil-based Bob.
You're in TV, bro. You're internet famous now. Uh-oh. Your sounds. Oh, he's squirmy. He's a squirmy worm. Okay. All right. Here's your bone. Oh, we'll get another one, I'm sure. Let's go ahead and activate our puppy cam.
Okay.
There he is. Oh. Everybody can see the lovely, lovely puppy. He's here. He's here. The unofficial mascot.
Another.
Yes, let's do another one.
Basil baseball.
Oh no, chat covers the puppy cam. Let me see if I can move the puppy cam. Ugh, there's so much stuff layered here. Oh no. I want just the puppy cam. Give me just the puppy cam. Nope. That's what. There it is. Nope, that's chat.
Nah.
Well, let's just slide chat over here.
Okay.
Let's just slide chat over here. It'll be fine. How dare us cover the puppy? How dare us? Anyway, Basil's here, everybody.
Yay!
Big round of applause for Basil. He's down there sitting on our giant 48-inch squishmallow, enjoying himself. He's having a wonderful time chewing on his bone. The great Basil has blessed us with his presence.
Basil baseball.
The Basil Base drop is so great that we made a shirt.
Yeah.
We got a shirt. All right. Well, while he enjoys his bone, let me go ahead and get our prediction set up. Get a nice big fat smudge of my glasses from the squirmy puppy.
So I want the Hoia-Baciu Forest to be haunted. I really do.
So
I
do
want
I.
there to be UFOs.
What?
Well, I want there to be UFOs. I want there to be ghosties. I want there to be cryptids.
Oh, yeah,
all in this
absolutely.
forest.
Absolutely.
I do believe it's the most haunted forest on Earth, but that's just because I don't know that I believe that there really is a haunted forest. I haven't seen proof yet. Do I get the chills and the oh my gosh, there's something scary? Absolutely, 100%. Like if I'm out camping at night and it's just me, or like, you know.
I think it would be a lot more intense if we were there personally.
Yeah. I think I would definitely feel like I would get chills and stuff like that. I would feel like I would be very anxious.
I get the impression that it's like super, super quiet there.
But I really just don't feel like I have enough evidence. So let me do this in a two-parter here. I don't feel like I have enough evidence to say it's definitively haunted, but I also don't feel the urge to like book a trip to Romania and go check this out. Like, it could be haunted and that's okay, but it can keep its creepies and its crawlies. And there are just some things that I'm not supposed to see in this life.
I mean, don't get me wrong. If we got like a free trip to Romania and it was within driving distance to this place, I would be like, yeah, let's go. Let's go see what it's all about.
I would wait for you in the car.
Well, all right. We're setting up a prediction, everybody. So everybody live in chat here in Twitch tonight's is able and totally allowed to.
I don't think it's the most haunted forest in the world, but it definitely doesn't have positive vibes.
No.
Yeah, the
No.
vibes are off, for sure. I think there are people doing things in this forest to make it creepier.
Yeah, like the circle thing. Yeah.
I think some of this is human initiated.
All right. Well, hold on to some of that. We still got Act 5. Don't give us all of your
It's true.
bits
Sorry.
yet. All right, so I'm setting up the prediction now. So everybody live in chat here on Twitch is able to vote. You get 10 minutes to vote whether the decision will be paranormal or absolutely not paranormal. You'll see a purple banner here at the top of the chat here. Just a second, but before I hit OK, those of you watching on YouTube are allowed to participate and announce whether they think tonight's investigation is paranormal or not paranormal. Everybody's vote counts towards the final result, because this is a democracy. I'm not good with politics. Is that what a democracy is? Is that what it's supposed to be? Everybody's vote counts?
Yeah.
That's what it's supposed to be. But everybody gets a chance to vote. So starting now, you'll see a purple banner at the top of the text, or top of the chat bar there. You can win channel points for accurately predicting whether tonight's investigation is paranormal or not paranormal. I think it's a toss-up right now.
I think it is.
I'm still kind of leaning both ways. I'm on the fence. I'm leaning both ways. Yeah, figure that out. But the prediction is live. And again, anybody watching live in YouTube land is allowed to vote via chat, and we will account your prediction with the final vote. So everybody's able to vote. The vote is live right now. That being said, let's get into Act 5. This is Act 5, everybody. Act 5. The most haunted forest on Earth? Question mark? So after everything we've covered tonight, does Hoia-Baciu actually deserve to be called the most haunted forest on Earth? There is no question that it's an unusual place. The twisted trees are real. The round clearing is real. And people really do visit the forest and report experiences they can't explain. But when we start separating those things from the legends surrounding them, the case becomes considerably less clear. Take the disappearing shepherd and his 200 sheep. It's probably the most famous story associated with the forest, yet finding reliable contemporary documentation showing that this disappearance actually occurred is extremely difficult. And the same problem exists with the story of the young girl who supposedly disappeared into the forest and returned years later without aging. It's an incredible story, yes, but incredible stories need evidence. Without a name, police report, newspaper coverage, or some other independent documentation, we can't treat it as a confirmed event simply because the story has been repeated hundreds of times. Then there's the round clearing. It certainly looks unusual, but claims that absolutely nothing grows there aren't accurate. Vegetation does grow there within the clearing. Grass, some flowers we've seen in photos. But the real mystery is why large trees don't dominate the center. That is interesting. But interesting isn't the same thing as paranormal. The twisted trees have a potential natural explanation as well. Whether environmental stress, damage, or competition for sunlight all can produce unusual growth, but then we have physical experiences, headaches, nausea, anxiety, the feeling of being watched, scratches, unexplained marks. Those reports shouldn't automatically be dismissed, but they're incredibly difficult to investigate after the fact. If someone enters the forest expecting something frightening to happen, suggestion alone can influence how they interpret ordinary sensations and sounds. But there's one part of the story that I think deserves more attention than anything else we've discussed. And that's the photographs. The 1968 Emil Barnea photographs are something above Hoia-Baciu. Whether that object was, the photograph exists. And that immediately separates the incident from many of the forest legends. Barnea reportedly had other witnesses with him, and the object appears to cross across multiple photographs. But does that mean he photographed an alien spacecraft? Not explicitly. A photograph can demonstrate that something was in front of the camera without telling exactly what it was. A small object relatively close to the photographer can appear much larger against the sky, and without reliable information about distance, size, movement, determining what we're actually seeing becomes extremely difficult. But more than a half a century later, those photographs remain one of the most genuinely interesting pieces of the Hoia-Baciu mystery. And maybe that's the most fascinating thing about the forest. We don't need every legend to be true. Hoia-Baciu may become trapped inside its own reputation. One strange photograph becomes a UFO hotspot, one unusual clearing becomes a portal, a twisted tree becomes evidence of a mysterious energy. Someone gets lost and suddenly people are disappearing. But then books, television programs, paranormal investigators, and tourists arrive looking for the legend they've already heard about. And every new, unexplained photograph or strange experience gets added to the story. And eventually the legend becomes almost impossible to separate from the place itself. So is Hoia-Baciu the most haunted forest on Earth? Based on the evidence we have tonight, probably not. There simply isn't enough reliable documentation behind many of its biggest paranormal claims, but I don't think that makes Hoia-Baciu boring. Quite the opposite. Because underneath decades of exaggeration and folklore, we're still left with an eerie Romanian forest, a genuinely strange-looking clearing, and generations of people reporting unusual experiences. And there's a series of photographs taken in 1968 showing something in the sky we still can't identify with certainty. Maybe Hoia-Baciu isn't a portal, maybe people aren't disappearing between dimensions, but maybe the trees aren't being twisted by some mysterious energy. But if you walk into those woods tonight, stood alone in that clearing, and heard footsteps coming from somewhere behind you, I don't think any of those explanations would make you feel much better. Oh, we got an ad starting soon. Oh, ad in progress. Yeah. So that's the end of Act 5.
Okay.
We did it.
Did it.
What do we got left on the prediction? It usually tells me. Did I wrap that up in less than 10 minutes?
Might have.
Yeah, it's still running. We still got 3 minutes left in the prediction. Everybody in chat and Twitch is allowed to vote. We've got 3 minutes left. It's okay. Let's wrap this thing up into a nice, neat little bow. We've got UFO sightings. We've got the strange clearing. We've got allegedly the story, the original story where the name Hoia-Baciu comes from is where a shepherd and 200 sheep went into that forest and disappeared and never came out. We've got disembodied voices. We got shadow sightings. We've got magnetic anomalies. We've got electromagnetic anomalies. We've got electronics failing.
Monkey trees.
We've got spooky trees. Which I guess this is a good time to bring up the thing I was going to say. So, there is a theory that a meteor hit where this clearing is. And that would explain why the trees are bent at the strange angle they're bent at. However, sidebar, if a meteor did hit in this area, it would affect all of the trees and not just a small minority of them. It's pretty clean, like it makes sense, like it, you know, your knee-jerk reaction would be to like, oh yeah, that makes good sense, but on the flip side of that coin, there's trees that are older than the ones that are bent in this forest, and they show no clear signs of any kind of bending or swooping or growing at crazy angles. I think between the two of us, we've been out in nature quite a bit. I've never seen a tree growing like that. I've never seen a tree growing at like crazy angles, like some of the pictures we saw on Google Maps. Have you?
No.
If anything, when we go out, like we did that 5K for the kidney stuff. I was amazed by the old trees more than anything. I'm not really looking at the shapes of trees. I'm looking at, oh shoot, this thing's so big I can't put my arms around it. That thing's been there for hundreds and hundreds of years.
Yeah.
These trees couldn't be more than 60, 70 years old. I wouldn't think.
Yeah.
It almost feels like somebody did it on purpose, but again, there's like, if somebody were to go out, in the woods, I guess I really don't know what would go into manipulating a tree to grow like that. A whole group of trees.
A lot of patience.
Yeah, years and years of work. It seems like a lot of work for what? Right? Just to make a story about a shepherd losing 200 sheep. Spooky?
Yeah.
I mean, we didn't see anything other than like a location on Google Maps. There wasn't like a Hoia-Baciu visiting center where you could buy t-shirts.
Right.
So that does answer a question, who's making money off of this? Clearly nobody's really making money off of this. I guess Google Maps, because they're selling our data. But other than that, it's just weird.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of inconsistencies, but that are like also tied to paranormal happenings.
Okay, so other sidebar. Like way
No, go
sidebar,
ahead.
like
Go
off
ahead.
way sidebar.
Go ahead.
You know the Amazing World of Gumball episode where they take the characters through the haunted forest and they're like, you have to stay with us or you're gonna get hurt, and Gumball and Darwin like get lost in the forest, obviously, right off the bat.
Yeah.
I feel like that's this forest.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
Obscure reference, but that's all I could think about.
All right, well, let's look at our prediction. Let's see what, where's our prediction? Here it is. 2 votes for absolutely paranormal. And we didn't hear anything from YouTube land, so we're getting really close to a tie vote here.
I know.
Do you want to go first? Or do you want me to go first?
I'm gonna stick with my gut here, and that's I just don't have enough to say for sure. I think it's definitely creepy. I'm gonna be the outlier and go with not paranormal tonight.
Okay. Well, we got 1 vote for not paranormal. I think everybody kind of knows where I want to lean here.
Yeah, I know where you want to lean.
I want to lean towards paranormal because, stories aside, we've seen some photos that pretty good evidence. We've done some investigations about UFOs with less evidence in the past that we have said were paranormal. We have 2 independent people photographing strange lights. We've got this bizarre clearing. The clearing is the weirdest thing. There is no reason those plants should not grow. I mean, you get flowers and stuff, but you're not getting trees. Trees are going to grow. Trees are like grass. They're very invasive. They want to grow. But in a few of those photos, there was clear deadfall, which means trees have leaned over that area and dropped parts of itself. Instead of propagating, it died and dried out, which is a red flag for me in the paranormal sense, because there's no reason those trees shouldn't have propagated into that. You saw how dense that forest was. You couldn't see 5 foot.
I'm more confident saying that the forest is paranormal than last week about the existence of the chupacabra.
Exactly. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think we're really looking at, I'm going to say paranormal because I don't have a good explanation.
Yeah, that's fair.
I've got a pretty good working knowledge of like science and, foundations of, biological life and how things work. I garden. I love growing shit.
Yeah.
I accidentally grew 25 tomato plants this year.
Yeah, you did.
So I know about propagation and I know about how things can spread. We did not plant those 25 plants. We planted 5 in buckets and we got 20 extras that grew everywhere else. Between the wildlife and insects, seeds should travel and naturally grow in a clearing like that. There's absolutely nothing holding it back. It's a great spot for a plant to grow.
Yeah.
It's a great spot. Because there's uninterrupted sunlight, uninterrupted rainfall. Everything should that place should have been filled the second it became clear. It's just nothing will grow there. And it's super, super weird.
Super weird.
Super weird. I'm not gonna lie, it's super weird. So I'm gonna say paranormal tonight.
Okay.
I'm gonna give it a paranormal vote, so that gives us 3 votes for paranormal and 1 for not paranormal.
We don't know where James stands.
We don't know where James stands. But
Basil says he doesn't care because this bone is delicious.
Basil just cares about his bone. You see him down there doing acrobatic rolls, trying to get the best possible angle at his bone. He just wants to chew on that bone. That's all he cares about. He loves that bone. I didn't realize that the plastic in the bone was UV reactive. Uh-oh.
Ah!
Basil baseball.
Yay!
Basil loves being on the podcast, everybody. We're working on getting him up here the entire time. He will be before too long, he's gonna be.
We didn't leave him out when we were grocery shopping.
I know, I
today.
realized
it
that
was
today.
a funky thing though today.
Yeah, we had an off day today.
Yeah.
But let me go ahead and lock it in. Tonight, we decided that the investigation was really paranormal.
That is absolutely paranormal.
Hoia-Baciu is a paranormal forest. We did it. We did it. We did it. Finally, after a dry spell of months and months. No, it's been a few weeks.
Yeah.
We got one that's actually paranormal. Yeah.
Yay!
We finally did it.
Yay!
Despite your vote.
Despite my vote. That's okay. That's okay.
No, I understand why you said what you said, though. I think at this point, there is not a lot of evidence to say paranormal.
That
Yeah.
place is evil.
Yeah. There's some weird stuff going on. Who was that?
I think that was James.
Hold
Because it didn't
I got
come
the
up
wrong
in-
window up here. Yeah, that was
Yeah,
James. Yeah,
yeah,
so yeah,
nice.
paranormal. Way to go, James. Thanks. Appreciate that. Yeah, there's no evidence to say paranormal, but there's no evidence to say not paranormal.
Yeah.
So I think what it boils down to is your intuition, your knee-jerk reaction is there's just weird shit happening.
Right.
And unless there's a group of people just living in the woods out there, just fucking with people for funsies with unlimited money, I don't see how it could happen.
Yeah.
It's not.
I mean, just because I voted not paranormal doesn't mean that I would like go spend a whole bunch of time in those woods. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I feel like I know something's wrong. My intuition tells me something's wrong. I'm just not fully leaning into the paranormal part yet. But my self-preservation is strong enough to go, you know what? This lifetime, I don't think I need to roll through the forest.
Yeah.
So,
That's okay. That's okay. But I'm glad.
That is absolutely paranormal.
Yeah, see? Paranormal. Absolutely paranormal.
That is absolutely paranormal.
It's paranormal. Clearly, it's paranormal. Everybody thinks so.
everybody thinks so.
Even Basil. Basil says it's paranormal. Chew on a bone if you think it's paranormal. Clearly, paranormal. All right, folks. Well, I'm glad everybody had some fun tonight. Glad everybody was able to participate and we had a good outcome. We finally got a paranormal result. I had some fun doing this one. It was
fun.
It was a little different. I know you had your hopes high at the beginning. I hope I didn't let you down.
No, I mean, it was really cool. It was really cool. I mean, I'm still riding on the high of the Backrooms movie today. So, like, the association of a haunted forest and, like, potentially getting lost and losing time and then the Backrooms and all that stuff. I'm gonna have some pretty cool dreams tonight, I'm hoping. So.
Oh, yeah. We're both gonna have some weird ones tonight. But no, it was a cool investigation. There was some weird stuff happening. Some just so weird. We can't lump it in anything other than a paranormal category. Clearly, it was a cool investigation. What are we thinking for next week?
I think we are now. Well, see, it's weird because this week we got ghosties and aliens at the same time. So normally we would be going to aliens, right? But like, I don't know. We got ghosties and aliens.
Yeah. So tonight's episode was lumped into high strangeness, ghosts, UFOs.
What didn't the forest have? Lol.
I know, right? A cryptid? We didn't get a cryptid.
Yeah, we didn't get a cryptid.
So we did Hoia-Baciu tonight. We did cryptid last week. We did a cryptid the week before. I guess that was a cryptid. We did the Winchester Mystery House the week before, and then the Black Knight Satellite the week before that. So I think we're on par for doing something just straight alien UFOs.
We could do that.
We've got some older ones, like early 1800s stuff that we could cover. Let me look right quick.
Haunted dolls.
Haunted dolls, I'm keeping away from them for now because there's so much stuff in the news about that guy that died from
Oh, the heart attack?
yeah,
that owned the
Annabelle doll.
Yeah, that owned the Annabelle doll, yeah.
I'm trying to steer clear of that one until some of the hullabaloo dies down. Because it's just too muddled right now.
The Annabelle doll freaks me out. I mean, I don't think I would
Oh
even...
my god, what?
Oh, did you not know about that? Yeah, we've been cutting it
I
for...
heard nothing about that.
Oh yeah, there was a guy who worked for the company that owns the Annabelle doll.
Didn't he, like,
and-
take care of it, too? Like,
Yeah, he was like a I guess like
like
a
a transporter? Like he
yeah, like he
transported
moved it from place to place, but then he also took care of it. Annabelle doll is kept in a locked box, and during one of the transports, he died of a heart attack. He was like 30.
I can't remember how old he was, but the Annabelle doll is actually something that really freaks me out, and I don't even want to look at her on the screen. Like,
Yeah,
I have a
yeah.
hard time. Like, if I see stuff about it in Facebook or something, I'll just scroll really fast because I can't.
Well, it's just, if you look back on like the last 25, 30 episodes, this week's News and Paranormal had something about the Annabelle doll every week because it was all over the news. Oh, puppy left us.
Yeah. It's been a little while since we've had that on there.
That's
It-
horrific. I was
and-
thinking like Robert or something, but wow.
Oh, wasn't the... No, not Robert. No, it wasn't the Robert doll. It was Annabelle. But, you know, he was like the keeper of the Annabelle doll, and then he died mysteriously and suddenly of a heart attack. But it could be... I don't know. It's all over the news, and anytime you bring up... every time I'm looking for, like, subject for this week's News and Paranormal, it always comes up, and I've always got to, like, not put it in there intentionally because it's always right there, and it's all anybody's wanting to talk about right now. Like, just last week, there was a big thing because somebody released photos of them bringing his body out of the hotel he was staying in. It's just... I don't know. I'm staying away from it for now. But we do have... So I do have a running list of a bunch of different subjects that as I come across them, I put them on the list. So we have the Shag Harbor UFO incident. We have the 1989 Belgium UFO incident. We could just cover crop circles. We have the Mexico UFO eclipse UFO event. We have the 1561 Nuremberg event. which was captured pretty consistently across history. We have the Higdon abduction, the Alexander Hamilton, not the one you're thinking of, airship encounter of 1897, and then the Crawfordsville UFO cryptid. I guess we could take this one off. Haunted Forest of Romania is gone. So if any of those tickle your fancy, let us know. We've got a huge list. We've got like 20, 30 something things on this list, and I try to keep fresh ideas on this list. So that way we can keep good subjects coming up. Oh no, an upside down puppy. Oh, so I guess between those, we'll find something. We'll stick with something UFO and alien related for next week. I'm feeling it might be.
A UFO sighting from the 1500s.
Yeah.
That sounds wild.
Yeah, well, that's the one I was thinking. Where'd it go? 1561 Nuremberg UFO event. Let's do that one for next week. 1561. This one was recorded in paintings. It's a wild, wild case. We'll do that one next week. That'll make a good one. All right. Well, let's see if we've got anybody worth rating tonight.
That's dedication.
Yeah, I'm constantly like scrolling through Instagram because my account for Beyond the Shadows.
They were oil paintings too. Lots of time and effort.
Oh yeah. It comes up a lot more than you think in my feed. But like my personal Instagram account, I don't really see it, but my Instagram account for the podcast, it comes up like at least twice a week. It's a weird event. It really is. We'll stick with that one. The 1561 Nuremberg UFO event. I think it'll make a good investigation. And if anything, it'll make us scratch our heads. Which is fine. Like this. Oh, like this. Like this, like this. Oh. This little puppy. You see why we don't go anywhere. This is all we do all day. All right, folks. Let's wrap this thing up. Let's wrap it up. Thanks, everybody, for being here tonight. We had a good investigation. We had some good fun. We saw some really compelling photo evidence tonight. We've seen some really interesting things. Things that kind of genuinely defied genuine school of thoughts. Schools of thought, excuse me. But it was a good investigation. We saw some really unique things. We heard some very strange tales. We saw a very cute puppy, and he loves being held, and he loves being upside down. He loves licking his mom's face. Held like a baby. Yeah, I'm talking about you. Let's do a basal bass trap one more time before we get going.
Basal bass drop.
I see you. All right, folks. Well, thanks everybody for being here tonight. If you find it in your hearts to give us a like and a follow, I'd appreciate it. Thank you everybody for being here tonight. Thank you, Otter. Thank you, Worlds of Confusion. Say again. Thank you, James, as always, for being here tonight. Thank you, Spot, for being here tonight. Who else popped in? I think that's it.
Good night. It was great catching the full thing this
Oh, Monty's here. You came in right at the end, Monty. I'm sorry. We're down here. We're down to the last two paragraphs. We're about to wrap this thing up. Monty, you should have been here 2 hours earlier. But I'm glad you were here, Otter, tonight. Thanks for being here.
Is okay.
Hazel's going to get out of here. She's going to go take care of the puppy, and I'm going to
I
wrap
was
this
not
up.
awake.
Oh, no. Geez, yeah. I forget y'all are on a completely different time zone than us. I'm always trying to crunch the numbers and the time zone difference because I would love to play some games with Worlds, but she's on a whole other time zone. Anywho, let's wrap this thing up and let's get the hell out of here. I'm sure y'all are ready for bed. I know I am. Thanks again for being here, everybody, tonight. I hope y'all had fun. We'll see you next week. We're going to cover the 1856, I think it was, a Nuremberg Sky event where a bunch of UFOs were sighted and captured in paintings. So, thanks everyone for being here tonight. Again, I'm so grateful for every single one of you guys making this dream come true of being a paranormal podcaster. Thanks for being here. Really, I appreciate it. So let's get into this closing monologue. Let's do it. So the Hoia-Baciu Forest is a perfect example of why we love investigating these stories. Because when you first hear about it, it sounds incredible. Haunted forest filled with disappearing people, twisted trees, UFOs, mysterious energy, missing time, and a clearing that might be a doorway into another dimension. But once you start digging deeper, some of those stories begin to fall apart. Others have perfectly reasonable explanations, and then every once in a while you find something like Mr. Barnea's photographs, something real, something we can actually look at, and something that leaves just enough unanswered questions to keep the mystery alive. So, if you find yourself walking through Romania one night and someone asks if you'd like to take a quick trip into the Hoia-Baciu Forest, sure, go ahead. Enjoy the twisted trees, take some pictures, maybe even spend a few minutes standing in the round clearing. But if your camera suddenly dies, you lose 3 hours. The UFO appears over the trees, and you hear something whispering your name from deeper inside the woods. Maybe don't be the one who goes looking for it. And if you accidentally walk through an interdimensional portal, just remember where you came in, because I don't think Google Maps has an option for that yet. But no matter what you do, make sure you follow us beyond the shadows. Good night, everybody. See everybody next week.
Creature like that, how would it ever die?
And this monster starts running right at me.
Annihilated by nuclear bombs.
Beast is not dead. I put 4 bullets into him.
Oh, you're crazy.
But I saw that monster too. All I want is for someone to believe me.
Contaminated.
Face. Horrible. Look like it would scare you to death.
All right, let's get to work.